or any topic that you'll need specifically to learn, you can let me know. We'll just quickly cover those up as well. Okay. Okay, can everyone see my screen? Okay, so first part that we'll be doing is fraction. So first, before we actually go into the questions, let's quickly revise as to what we need to learn exactly in fractions. So first of all, you should know that fractions is, so you'll already know, I'm just revising it. So if you have a number like this, so like, and then so this you call as the numerator, and the below one you call as the denominator. So we'll learn certain properties of fractions. So if your numerator is less than your denominator, let's say 1 over 2, so numerator is top, and on the bottom you have the denominator. So if your numerator is less than your denominator, then you call this as a proper fraction. This is a proper fraction. And if your numerator is greater than your denominator, then you call it as an improper fraction. And then you also have mixed fractions where you have a whole number. So let's say 3, 1 over 2. So here you have a whole number and a fraction. Then this is what you call a mixed fraction. And then you have another thing called unit fractions. So unit fractions is when you have 1 as your numerator and then you have any other number as your denominator. So it can be half or 1/4 or 1/5. These are all called unit fractions. Yeah, so those are the kinds of fraction that you could have. Then now we have to learn what we can do with fractions. So you can add, subtract, multiply, and divide fractions. So when you're adding or subtracting, there is something very important that you have to do first. Let's say, for example, you have to add half plus 3 over 2. So then here you can see that your denominators are the same. Therefore, I can easily add the 2. So then I will have 4 over 2. And here you can simplify. You can divide 4 by 2 and then you have 2 over 1, which is equals to 2. So anything that you have the denominator as 1. So let's say your denominator is 1. So here this is your denominator. If your denominator is 1, you can always keep it like this as a whole number itself. So if they were to give you a number like this and ask you to write it in fraction form, it's going to be 4 over 1. Then let's say that your denominators are not the same. So you have something like 4 over 5 plus 3 over 2. Now here you can see that both your fractions have different denominators. Here you have 5 and here you have 2. Then the first thing that you have to do before you add or subtract is make sure that your denominators are the same. So for that, you have to multiply the same fraction by a certain number up and down by a specific number. So let's try this. So here it's going to be, so you have to find the common factor from the two. So 5 and 2, the closest common factor is, you can get it to 10. You can multiply this fraction by a certain number to get the denominator as 10 and this fraction by a certain number to get the denominator as 10. So then if I were to multiply here 2, both up and down by 2 here, so then I will be getting 4 into 2, 8, and then 5 into 2, 10. Multiply this number here by 5, up and down by 10. Then I can get 3 into 5 is 15, and 5 into 2 is 10. Now you can see that both your denominators are the same. You have 10 here, 10 here. The moment you see that your denominators are the same, very easily you can just simply add it. So 15 plus 8 is going to be 23 over 10. So here it's not a number where you can simplify. So you can just leave it as it is. Okay. So same thing with subtraction. If I were to have a number 3 over 2 minus 5 over 4. So here you can see that both the denominators are not the same, but if I change one, I can get it to the other one. So here the most closest common factor here is 4 itself. I can multiply this up and down by 2 to get it as 4. So sometimes you don't have to multiply all fractions to get the denominator. You can only multiply one to get it as the other denominator. So here then you will see 3 into 2 is 6 over 4 minus 5 over 4. Very easily now you can subtract. Then you will get 6 over 4 minus 5 over 4 is 1 over 4. Here you can just leave it like that. Okay. Then let's move on to multiplication. So multiplication or division, both are similar. You can directly multiply or divide. So if I have 3 over 2 into 10 over 9. So this is your multiplication. You can simplify numbers here itself instead of multiplying. So if I were to multiply this, I would get 30 over 18. Here you can see you can divide both up and down by 2. If you were to divide by 2, you'll have to divide it again. Or you can see that you can divide both up and down by 6. Instead of getting bigger numbers and simplifying it, it takes a lot of time and then you have to multiply and check. Directly you can multiply here itself. Here itself you can multiply because you have small numbers and small numbers are very easy to multiply, simplify, and you won't make mistakes. It's highly unlikely for you to make mistakes. So here when you simplify, you can see that here you can divide up and down. Here you can simplify 10 by 2. So 10 by 2 is 5. 2 divided by 2 is 1. Then you can also see the other side. 3 and 9, you can simplify both by 3. And then you will get your answer as, sorry, this is 1 and 3. So then here you will be 5 into 1. You multiply up and down by each other. 5 into 1 is 5. Over 3 into 1 is 3. Then let's say you have to divide a fraction. So 6 over 5 into 12 over 5. Division, sorry. Division. Well, in division, what we do is we don't divide it as it is. You get the reciprocal and then you multiply. So the first thing that you do here is you change this sign to multiplication. When you go to change the sign, so first you keep the first one as it is. And when you go to change the sign, it becomes multiplication. When you change the sign, you have to reciprocal the second fraction. So here reciprocal means you flip it. You put the denominator to the numerator and numerator to the denominator. Then here 12 over 5 becomes 5 over 12. And now you can very easily simplify again instead of multiplying, simplifying. Simplify here itself because you have small numbers. Here you can see 5 and 5 gets cancelled. And then 6, you can divide both up and down by 6. And then you have 2. So 1 into 1 is 1. And then 1 into 2 is 2. So this is your final answer here. Does anyone have any questions or doubts to ask from this part? This is just a revision of what you have already learned, not the questions exactly. But do you have any questions that you want to ask me? No questions? You can, unless they specifically ask. Usually, you don't get an improper fraction at the end, but usually they'll tell you what to do. But in case, you can always keep it as a mixed fraction because then you're safer. So it's better to be on the safer side than worry about. Then your examiner also knows that you know it, and so then you're always safe. So it's better if you get a mixed fraction, sorry, an improper fraction. If you can convert it to improper fraction, you can convert it to mixed fraction, but usually you don't get answers like that at the end. Usually you get a very simplified answer and it's usually proper. But then in case, yeah, it's better if you just keep it as a improper mixed fraction. Okay. Any more questions? Okay. So I'll continue. Okay, so now we'll go to the actual part. So we're just revising or going through questions in the fractions in paper 1, part 2. So this is a compulsory question. You have to do these questions and it's worth 10 marks. Okay, which is very important. Okay, so if you have the tube, please look at it. Okay, so a container of 5-liter capacity was completely filled with soft drink. So in these type of questions, it's always best you have a paper. You can ask for a rough sheet, right? So then you write these point. Oh no, you can't. So just in the side of your paper, very lightly with pencil, you have to note these down because these can. The PDF was sent in the group. Are you not in the group, dear? Hmm, let me see. One second. I'll share the PDF here in case anyone wants it. Just a second. Okay, I have uploaded it on the chat. If anyone wants it from there, they can use it. Okay, so yeah. So these, especially this fraction part in paper one, you have to note things down because at one point it'll be very confusing of the information that they're giving. So first thing that you have to do is always note down what they're saying. So they're saying a container of 5 liter capacity was filled with a soft drink. Okay, 5 liters. Okay, so first thing that you know, it's a 5 liter container, and 3/10 of this amount was used to serve drinks. So 3/10 was used to serve drinks. Okay, the 5 liter container. And the first question that they're asking us is, what fraction of the capacity of the container was the amount of soft drink remaining after using a portion to serve drink? So this is usually a pattern that is used in this fraction question. So they always ask you the remaining amount. And there it's a pattern. You usually have to read it and understand, but this often comes. So they're asking us the remaining amount after serving drinks. So here you can see that we use 3/10 to serve drinks. And they're asking us the remaining after you serve. So for that, what you have to do, so let's say you have a jar and you filled it. And then this amount, you took it out. And then the remaining amount, you get this. So basically, from the whole amount, you took a certain amount out. You took this part out. So that's minus. And it's equal to the remaining part for us. So that means what we have to do is we have to subtract from the whole. So any whole, you can refer it to as 1. Any whole part, you can refer it to as 1. And we're going to subtract it from the used amount. So that's 3/10. So how do we get this 1 as a, yeah, how do we get this whole number as a fraction number? So for that, you can see that here my denominator is 10. So I have to make this denominator as 10 as well. So when you have, I told you previously, when you have a number as a whole, how you write it as a fraction is just put 1 as the denominator. So if you have 3, you can write it as 3/1. Same here. So you're going to have 1/1 here. 1/1. And since this denominator is 10, I have to make this denominator as 10 as well. So then I have to multiply both up and down by 10. In the end, I will get 10/10 minus 3/10. Now you'll get your answer as 10 minus 3 is 7. Denominator always stays the same, 7/10. So that's the answer for your first question. They're asking the remaining amount. So we got that. So I'll write it at the top. Remaining is 7/10. Remaining. Okay. Then let's go to the second question. So the second question that they're asking us is 5/7 of the soft drink remaining in the container was poured into a bottle. Remaining in the container. That's very important. They're saying 5/7 of the remaining. What fraction of the capacity of the container was the amount of soft drink left in the container after that? Okay. So first they're saying 5/7 of the remaining was poured into a bottle. So let's find the amount that was poured into a bottle. So first thing that they're saying is 5/7. 5/7 of the remaining. So which fraction are we going to use now? They're saying 5/7 of the remaining. So which fraction out of what I have written on top do we use now? 7 over 10. Correct. So here specifically they are saying of the drink remaining. So we got that fraction in our previous answer. So then you have to, and always when they say of, the word of refers to multiplication. If they say 5/7 of or any fraction of, even in a question, if they say 9 over 10 of 11, 3 over 5, of means you directly write it as multiplication. So here they are saying 5/7 of the remaining was used, was poured into a bottle. So then of, which is multiplication, you can directly write it here, 7 over 10. Now here very easily you can see that we have very simplifiable numbers. Directly you can simplify to make your life so much more easier. 1, 1. And then here you can see up and down, you can divide it by 5. So 5 divided by 5 is 1, 10 divided by 5 is 2. Then you multiply both the up and down numbers together. 1 into 1 is 1, 1 into 2 is 2. So this is the amount poured into the bottle. So I'm going to write that as well on the corner. So then it's going to be half amount was in the bottle. Okay, but that's not our final question. The final question that they're asking us is the remaining amount left in the container. So this is the amount that was used to drink. This is the amount that was used in the bottle. So they're asking the remaining amount. So what we have to do is we have to add the used amount. So the used amount was the drinks and the bottle, and again subtract it from the whole. So we'll first find the whole amount that was taken out of the container. So then that's going to be 3 over 10 plus half. Then here again, when you subtract or add, the first thing that you see is the denominator. And if you know that it's different, you get it to the same denominator. Otherwise, you can directly add or subtract. So here you can see that we have different denominators, and our common denominator is going to be 10. You can easily get 2 as 10. So then we're going to multiply up and down by 5. And then you will get 3 over 10 plus 5 over 10. So then you will add and see you will get 8 over 10 as your amount that was taken completely out of the container. Again, this is not our final answer. They're asking us the remaining amount in the container. So this amount was taken out of the container. This was out. They're asking what's in. So again, what we have to do is, so again, I'll just show it in picture form. So we have the whole. So we have the whole minus, we can see that we've taken 8 out of 10. We took all of this out, and the remaining that we have is going to be this tiny portion. So for us to find that, we subtract the used out of the whole. Then we can see again that we are going to get 1 minus 8 over 10. That's the out amount, 8 over 10. So then again you can see 1, you can write it as a whole, as a fraction, and then you can multiply up and down by 10. So 10 over 10 minus 8 over 10 is equal to 2 over 10. So this is your final answer. Did everyone understand how we came to this answer over here?
Yes, Miss.
Okay. Nice. Then our last part. Okay, so we've noted down all the fractions that we need. So we'll just write all the fractions that we need. Okay. Mm, yeah, so then the remaining fraction is 2 over 10. The boy. Just note that down over here. Okay, so then the last question. So this is usually a pattern. There's a pattern how this question, it's always like this. Okay, so you just have to understand the question clearly and note down anything that you want to note down, because here you can see we used previous fractions before. So in case you miss those, it's very important that you note them in the side, just like this. Just note them down, rings, like that. Otherwise, you're really going to get confused and you might miss numbers as well. Okay, so now the last part is, now more soft drink was added to the amount of soft drink in the container until the amount of the container was exactly half the capacity of the container. So now we gave for drinks, then we poured into a bottle, and then you have the remaining amount in your container as 2 over 10. Okay, so let's say I divide 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You have the remaining as 2 over 10. So that's going to be this much, 2 over 10. They're saying that we're going to add more drink until the container is exactly half the capacity of the container. So what's the capacity of the container? 5 liters. Until it comes to half of 5 liters, we're going to add drink. They're asking us express the amount of soft drink poured into the container in liters. Very important. They're not asking how much is in the container. They're asking the amount to be poured. So remember to read all of these questions very clearly and slowly if you have to. Don't be in a hurry. Okay, so they're saying first we are going to pour a certain fraction to make the fraction here as half of the capacity. So what we have is 2 over 10. So half is going to be, we have to add a certain fraction to get it as half. So that means it's going to be like this. Plus something is going to give us half. So what I can do is, to get the fraction itself, I'm going to subtract half by the amount that is already there. So what's there is 2 over 10. So I'm going to subtract half by 2 over 10. Then you will be getting the amount that has to be poured. So now you can see again, denominator is not the same. So we multiply the certain fraction to get it as 10. So here up and down you can do it by 5. And then you will get 5 over 10 minus 2 over 10. And 3 over 10 is your fraction that has to be poured into the bottle for you to get half the container filled with soft drink. Okay, so then they're asking us to represent this fraction as liters. Correct? Yes, they're saying specifically liters. Now you know that the whole is 5 liters. So what's our whole here? 10 over 10. That's our whole. So if you were to write it as fraction, it will be 10 over 10. So 10 over 10 is equals to 5 liters. 5 liters. So how much is 3 over 10 going to be? That's our question. So what we have to do here is, you have to divide 5 liters by 2 into the amount that is needed. 5 liters by 10. So how you get this answer is, you take the amount that's here, and you divide it by the denominator. Not the numerator, by the denominator. So 5 divide by 10, and then you multiply it by the numerator that you need. So this is the amount that we need it as 3/10 fraction. So you divide this number by the denominator and multiply it by the number that you need, which is 3. We need number 3. So if we had 7 over here, you multiply this by 7. Okay? So here we have 3. So you multiply this by 3. And now we will easily simplify this and we're going to get the answer. So 5 divided by 5 is 1. And then 10 divided by 5 is 2. So now you can see half. And now you have 1 into 3, which is 3. And 2 is just 2. And then you will get your answer. 3 divided by 2 is 1.5 liters. Did everyone understand how we got that? Is
Yes.
it clear to everyone how we got this answer? Do you all have any doubts, anything that I have to repeat? Any questions? Anything that I want to say?
No questions, miss.
Okay. Okay, so we'll quickly do one more of this. Or did everyone understand? You all want to try one more of this, or shall we move on to another section? Because what you all need is really important more than what I want to do.
Mm, let's move to another one. No?
Another one, does everyone agree? Oh, we have try another question. So we'll do one more, okay? We'll do it a little faster. Okay. So let's go for the next one. So sometimes you can get questions where you have man days as well. So let's do one with man days. So you have fractions mixed with man days. Okay. So now what we have is from a type of cosmetics produced by a certain company, 2/5 is allocated for exports and 2/5 is allocated for shops and 3/8 for exports. Okay. Okay. So that's saying 2/5 is allocated for shops and 3/8 is allocated for exports. So the first question that they're asking us is the fraction of the total stock. What is the fraction of the total stock for shops and exports? So that's a very direct question. The total. The total fraction allocated for both shops and exports. So then what you have to do, just add the fractions. So here you're going to get 2/5 plus 3/8. And then here you can see that your denominator is not the same. So you're going to multiply both by a certain number. So here it's going to be 40. You have to get the number that is common to both and very small. Okay, so 40 here. So for us, you have to multiply here both by 8 and here by 5. So then you're going to get 8 into 2, 16/40 plus 3 into 5, 15/4. So here you get 15 plus 16 gives us 31/4. So this is the fraction that is total for shops and exports. So you can just write it here if you want. 31/40. Okay, so that's our first Roman number. The second question that they're asking us is 1/3 of the remaining. Okay. this. Okay. 1/3 of the remaining quantity of cosmetics is kept for sale within the company itself. Okay. If the value of this quantity of cosmetics that is kept for sale is 6,000, what is the value of the total stock of cosmetics? Hmm. So they're saying 1/3 of the remaining. So here you can see, one second. Mhm. Okay, so here you can see we kept 2/5 allocated for, uh, sorry, the 1/3 of the remaining. So here you have 31 over 40 as the total that is used. Again, if you were to draw it as a figure, it would be the whole minus the taken amount, that's shops plus export. This, then you get it remaining as this tiny portion over here. So they're saying 1/3 of the remaining. So we have to find this remaining. So for that, you have to take the whole and subtract it by the used. So here our whole is going to be, if you want, instead of writing 1, you can directly write this as a fraction itself. That's going to be 40 over 40 minus the total used amount, which is 31 over 40. 31 over 40, giving us 40 minus 31 is 9, 9 over 40. Now here they are saying 1/3 of the remaining. This is our remaining portion. This is our remaining. And they're saying 1/3 of it is kept for sale within the company. And this is equals to 6,000 rupees. So 9 over 40 of 1/3. So you multiply this by 1/3, giving us, so you can simplify here, divide up and down by 3, and you get 3 over 40. And they're saying 3 over 40 is equals to 6,000 rupees. They're asking us what is the value of the total cost of cosmetics. So they're asking us the total amount. Again, how we did previously, we know that 3/4 is equals to 6,000. So then we have to find, they're asking us the total. So here what we have to do first is, we have to get it as a fraction of 1/4. So to get it as 1/4 over, 1/40th, I have to divide this amount by 3. Then I can get my fraction as 1/4. So if I were to divide 6,000 by 3, I'm going to get it as 2,000. Then now very easily you can divide, you can multiply 2,000 into 40. Then you will get as a fraction of 40 over 40, because you have it as 1/4, 1/40th here. So to get it as the whole, it has to be 40th over 40. So then you will multiply this and then you will be getting 80,000. Did everyone understand this? So this is a very simple one. It's quite direct, no nonsense here. Did everyone get it? A little faster here. So remember to read the question properly, because how you read the question can tell you what answers you're gonna get. Might get mixed up also. So remember to read. So if they say remaining of All of those are very important. Okay. So then let's just move on to the second part. So that is man days. So sometimes they can give you a question with fractions and man days or only a fraction question. So it has been estimated that 12 employees will take 7 days to produce the above stock of cosmetics. So 12 employees will take 7 days. 12 employees will take 7 days. If it is required to produce twice the quantity of this stock in 8 days due to an urgent order, how many more employees will be engaged for this? So first what we have to do is find the man days that is required in the first part on normal orders. So it's going to be, so man days means you multiply the men by the days, basically. So 12 into 7. So here you are going to get 54. 12 into 7 is going to give you 84. So here 84 days. But remember here the next question that they are saying is if it is required to produce twice the quantity. That means you're going to have twice this amount. In 8 days, how many employees, how many more employees, how many more? That is also a very important part. If they say how many more, not how much employees are needed, how many more employees. So first let's see how many man days is it totally if it is twice. So if it is twice, you're going to multiply 84 by 2. And here you get 168 man days. So this is twice the work. And they're saying how many employees do we need? So first let's find how many employees that we need and then let's find how many more. So how many days are we taking to do this? We're taking 8 days to do this. So then you have to divide 168 man days by 8 for us to find how many men totally is needed. So then you will get 21 men is needed. But they ask you how many more? How many more means from how many we have, what is the extra that is need to put? So we already have 12 men. They're asking us how many more men do we need? So we have to subtract 21 minus 12, giving us 9 more men. So we need 9 more men to complete twice the work in 8 days. Is that understood? This many more part is very important.
Yes, yes.
The question that we're doing is the second question in fractions. Page number, in the tude, page number 2. Did everyone understand that? So that many more part is very important. Don't get confused and write your final answer as 21. If you write your final answer as 21, you might get only 1 mark maybe. If it's worth 2 marks, you'll only get 1 mark. You won't get the mark for 9 men. Is that understood? So that's an important part. Here you have to very carefully read questions. Okay? One word miss, everything is gonna go wrong. Okay? Okay. So that's part for fractions. The next thing that we're going to move to is area. So this is also a very important question because obviously it's a compulsory question. So compulsory questions you have to do. And you can very easily score because here they're only asking on a specific area, which is usually they include circle, the perimeter or area of a circle, and maybe triangle, square, rectangle. That's all. They won't go more than that. So then you just have to be very thorough with those parts of the thing. So let's just go through the areas, just a rough review. So then you have, so if you have a triangle, sorry, a rectangle, a square, a triangle, and a circle. Okay. So if we are going to have perimeter, perimeter is very easy. So perimeter is basically the length of the border. So it's going to be like this. If you have A over here, B over here, here you have A. So that means all four sides are equal here. Here opposite sides are equal. Here perimeter means you just take the lengths. So if you have A, B, C, and then the circle. Okay, so for the perimeter of a rectangle, you just add all the sides. So A plus A plus B plus B, you can write it as 2A plus 2B. Here it's going to be A plus A plus A plus A 4 times. So then you will be getting 4A. Then here just add all the sides, A plus B plus C. Then here it's going to be, so the equation to find the circumference, the perimeter of a circle is called the circumference. It's 2 pi r. So you have the radius, so it's going to be 2 pi r. Then let's say it's, do it at bottom, it's area now. Not perimeter, we're going to find area. So area for rectangle, you multiply the length by the width. That's going to be A into B. Same thing here for a square, you multiply two lengths by each other. So here all the lengths are equal. That means it's going to be A into A. You can write it as A squared. Then here in a triangle, you will have a perpendicular height given. So if they give that height, you're going to multiply that height by the base, the perpendicular height by the base. So in this given figure, it's going to be half into base, which is C, into perpendicular height. And then for the circle, the equation is pi r squared. So here specifically in this, in O level, what you need to know in circle is the area or perimeter of a sector of a circle. So sector of a circle is if you have a certain angle only of the circle, how are you going to find the perimeter or the area? So perimeter, if you're finding the perimeter, it's only going to be this arc. So the arc, how you find that is theta, that is the angle, over 360, which is the angle in a circle. So if you have a circle and a point, this entire angle over here is 360 into 2 pi r, because that's the circumference of a whole circle. If you want to find the entire perimeter, that is these two also, then it's just radiuses, but 2, so 2r. Then if you have to find the perimeter, the area, it's going to be theta over 360 into area of a circle is pi r squared. Okay, so those are the equations that you will need over here. So you already know rectangle, triangle, and square. The only thing new that you learned from this whole thing, I mean, in all over itself, is the sector of a circle and how to find the area and the perimeter. So they are only going to test us over here with those specific ones. So let's just get on with it. Okay. Then you might also get, so you can also have trapeziums as well. That's the only thing that is extra. So if you were to have a trapezium, it's going to look like this. Even if it's a parallelogram, that's the same as a square, yeah, a rectangle. So you'll have a base with a perpendicular height. You just multiply the two. So that's for parallelogram. So if it's pitch and base, base into height. That's parallelogram. So if it's trapezium, this one's just a little different. So if you have a perpendicular height and A and B here, and this is a perpendicular height, so how we find the area is half into the lengths added, up and down lengths added. So A plus B, A plus B, into the height, which is H. So sometimes, very rarely, they can give you trapeziums, but usually it's just squares, circles, and triangles and rectangles. Okay, so let's just go with the first question. So this is in page 3. The figure shows a flower bed consisting of a semicircular part of radius 14, adjoining a rectangular part ABCD. Pebbles have been scattered in the two shaded rectangular parts outside the flower bed. So here they are saying to take the value of pi as 22 over 7. Find the length BC of the rectangular part of the flower bed. So first let's draw this figure over here. Okay, so here they are saying that this part is 7. These two are 7. This is BC over here. We know that they have told us the radius of the circle is 14. So radius means it's going to be this part over here, or if you want this side over here. That is going to be our radius. So they are telling us that our radius is 14. So this is going to be 14 both sides. And they are asking us to find the length of BC. So here you can see that you can add these two sides and then subtract it from here to get the length, this. That's how we're going to find it. So 14 plus 14, that's the total, is 28. And we have to subtract by 7 into 2. So 28 minus 7 into 2, or 7 plus 7, both are the same. 28 minus 14, which gives us 14 again. So here we are also going to have 14 meters. Okay, so then they're asking us to find the area of the semicircular part of the flower bed. So area of the semicircular part, so remember, that's theta over 360 into area, so pi r square. So then theta here is, since it's a half a circle, it's a semicircle, it's going to be 180 over 360 into pi, which is 22 over 7, into r squared. So here 14 is the radius. So 14 into 14. So here you can very easily simplify. You know it's a half a circle. So basically this becomes half. 180, when you divide 180 by 360, you get 2. So half is there. And then here you can simplify 7 by 14. You'll get 2 here. Then you can simplify this. So your answer, final answer, you'll have to multiply 22 by 14. So here you'll get 308. Now here, don't forget this unit. 308 meter area. So it's going to be square. Don't forget that. That's very important. 308 meters squared. If you just put 308 meters, wrong. It has to be meter squared because here we're finding the area. Okay. Then next it's going to be, if the area of the semicircular part is equal to the sum of the areas of the two parts in which pebbles have been scattered, find the length of AB. Okay, so pebbles have been scattered in the two shaded rectangular parts outside the flower bed. So here in this region, You have pebbles scattered. In these two regions, you have pebbles scattered. And they're saying if the area of the semicircular part is equal to the sum of the areas of the two parts, find the length of area. Okay. So here they're telling us that the area of the semicircular part is equal to the sum of the area of the shaded parts. So here, what is our shaded part going to be? These two. So that's how you're going to find the area is you have to multiply the length into breadth. So that's going to be this part into this part. But here we know that we don't have the length. We only have the width, but we know the area. How are we going to find the area? So here the area they're telling it's equal as both added. So how much is that? 308 meters squared is equals to the area of these two parts. So there it's going to be, you can see that it's going to be 2 times 7 into, I'm going to mark the length as x. So if you are putting any additional letters, you have to always remember to mark it in the figure. So I'm going to tell this as x. Both of these are x. So then here it's going to be 7 into x. 7 into x. Did everyone understand how we got it as 2 times 7 into x? They're saying it's the addition of both flower beds is equal to the area of the semicircular bed. But here they haven't given us the length, they have only given us the breadth. So then 2 times, how you find the area is length into breadth. We have the width, we have the width and we don't have the length. That's what we're finding. So then here you can subject this fraction here. So I'm going to put this 2 to the other side. Another color. 2 to the other side. Then you will get 308 divided by 2, which is equals to 7 into x over here. So 308 divided by 2, you'll get 154. 154 is equals to 7 into x. So now we have to find x. So you can write x is equals to 154 divided by 7. And then you will get your answer as 22. So remember to write the unit, which is meters over here. 22 meters. That is the answer for that question. Then they are telling us, find the perimeter of the whole flower bed. Okay. So they are saying perimeter of the whole flower bed. So here the perimeter is this. This going like this and this part over here. That is our perimeter. So then here it's going to be, we found, oh, we didn't. We found the area of the semicircle. So we didn't find the perimeter of the semicircle. So we have to find that. So theta over 360 into 2 pi r. So you can again write it as 180 over 360 into 2 into 22 over 7 into r, which is 14. So here you can simplify 2. You can simplify this by this by this. And then you will get your answer as 44 meters. So that's the perimeter of the semicircle. So now you can easily find the perimeter of the entire bed. That's going to be this part, 44. 44 plus these two, that is 7 plus 7. 7 plus 7 plus these two, we found it previously, 22 plus this, which is 14. So now when you add these, you're going to get 44 plus 14 plus 44. So here you're going to get 116 meters. So that is the total perimeter, but they're asking us another question, which is find the length of a triangle that has, okay. Then they're saying find the length of the triangle that has the same perimeter as the flower bed and breadth equal to the diameter of the semicircle. Okay, so here, rectangle that has the same perimeter and then breadth equal to the diameter. Okay, so the perimeter here that we found is 116. Okay. So they're asking us to find the length of a rectangle. So the length of the rectangle when you have the breadth same as the diameter of the semicircle. So we had the radius of the semicircle as 14. So diameter means twice as that. So that's going to be 28. So they're saying us that the breadth is 28. We have to find the length with the same perimeter. So perimeter we found was 116. Then how this is going to be, perimeter means you have to add all four sides. So then 2L, so you can write it as L plus 28 plus 28 is equals to 116. You can write it as 2L is equals to, is 2 plus 56 is equals to 116. So then you will get 2L is going to be equals to 116 minus 56. So then you will be getting 2L is equals to 60. So therefore, L is going to be equals to 60 divided by 2, which is going to be equals to 30. Don't forget the unit meters. Is that understood, everybody? Is that understood? So this is how usually how the question goes. They just ask you about the perimeters. Mainly it's concerning the circle part, and then you have additional parts as well. So here the addition part was they had asked you to find the length of a different rectangle for the perimeter as well as the breadth. Okay, let's just do one more. Okay. Let's do question number. In in page number 5, the first question there. So it says the figure shows a flower bed consisting. Okay, I'll draw that here. Okay, the figure shows a flower bed consisting of a right triangular plot of land ABC and a semicircular part with BC as diameter. Okay, so they're saying find the length of AC. Okay, so here we are going to have Pythagoras theorem. So we know right angular triangle, and we all know the Pythagoras theorem. So then that's going to give me 21 squared plus 28 squared is equals to x squared. So I'll mark it as x. So if you write a letter, you should always know to mark it down. Okay, so 21 squared plus 28 squared. So you can also write this as 7 into 3 squared plus 4 into 7 squared is equals to x squared. So here you can see that 7 squared is common. 7 squared is common, so I can take it out. So if then it will be 7 squared into 3 squared plus 4 squared into 7 squared is equals to x squared. So here you can see that we have 7 squared is common. So you can take that out. 7 squared. And then you'll be getting only 3 squared plus 4 squared is equals to x squared. So from this, you know already know that there is a specific um it's a pair that goes along with 3 squared plus 4 squared is equals to. So from that itself, you can get this answer over here. So then you will be getting 3 squared is 9 plus 4 squared is 16 is equals to x squared. So 25 is equals to x squared. So which is equals to 5. So x is going to be equals to 5. Hmm. Into so, okay. So here you got x squared as 25. But remember, you also have the remaining 7 squared over here. So then x squared is equals to 5 squared into 7 squared. Square root the entire thing. So x is equals to 5 into 7. So 5 into 7 is equals to 35. So then you will get your answer here as you want, you can erase the x and write it as 35. So that's going to be your answer over there. Did everyone understand that? Did everyone understand how we got that here? So they have given us a hint also in the question itself. And they say 4 into 7 and 3 into 7. Yeah. That is our first part over there. They had asked us to find the remaining length. Then they're telling us it is required to build a fence around the whole flower bed. Find the length of this fence. So the flower bed is this part. This is our flower bed length. That is the length of our flower bed. They're asking us the whole length. Length means it's going to be the perimeter. So first thing that we do is find the perimeter of the semicircle. So that's theta over 360 into 2 pi r. So that's going to be 180 over 360 into 2 into 22 over 7 into r here. It is 28, but this is the diameter. So radius is half of that. So 28 divided by 2 is 40. So here we can simplify. So you can have 180 when you divide by 360, it's 2. 2 here simplify. 2, and then you get your answer as 44. The unit here is meters. 44 meters is the perimeter of the circle. So then you can find add the perimeters now. So that's going to be 21 plus 35 plus 28. So 21, oh my God, not 28, 44. 21 plus 35 plus 44. And here you'll get your answer as 100. 100 meters is the perimeter of the flower bed. Then they're asking, find the area of the semicircular portion. So area, you can use the area equation. So theta over 360 into pi r squared. So that's going to be theta here is 180. 180 over 360 into pi r squared. And simplify. We got this answer before. 22 into 14, which is 308 meter square. Don't forget the units, those are important. Then this, so usually they'll give you 2 to 3 questions regarding perimeter and then or area, and then they give you a question, an additional part. So they'll tell you, like previously we had to find the length of another rectangle, but here they're asking us, it is required to add a rectangular plot that is area equal to the area of the semicircular portion. So similar to the previous one, now here they are saying it is required to add a rectangular plot that is area equal to the area of the semicircle. So the rectangle also has the area equal to the semicircle, which is 308 meter square. And they're saying it has AB as the side. AB is one side and they're asking us the remaining side. So we don't know whether AB is a length or a breadth. So depending on that, your figure will change. It can be like this. It can be a part like this, or it can be a figure like this. If this side is longer, this would be the length and this would be the breadth. Or if it was like this, then this would be the length and this would be the breadth. So depending on the remaining length or breadth that you get, your figure will change. So first what we're going to do is we're going to find the remaining side length, either it's length or breadth that we need. So for that, we're going to get area is equals to 308. So I'll mark it as remaining length as length. Okay. So you just write that remaining length is referred to as L. So then L into 21 is going to give me 308. So then L is going to be 308 divided by 21. So here then you'll get your answer as, sometimes you may get decimal answers, but that's fine. So here the answer is going to be 4.67. So if you get decimal answers, it's fine. Just leave it like that. 14.67. And now you see that 14.67 is smaller than 21. That makes that side the breadth because it's smaller. So then your figure is going to look like this. It's going to be shorter than the other one. So that's why you don't draw it yet. You have to first figure out the remaining length and then draw. So then you'll mark it. So this will be 21. And anywhere top or bottom, you can write it as 14.67. Don't forget the unit, meters. Is that understood? Did everyone understand this part? How it works? Okay. So then let's move on to the next part, which is interest. So this is also a question that is compulsory in paper 1, part 2. Okay. Okay, so the annual assessed value of the house Kamal owns 15,000. How much does he have to pay as annual rates? So here the annual rates percentage is 12%. So then it's just going to be 12 over 100 into 15,000. So they have given us the percentage and the value. So 12 over 100 into 15,000. Here you can simplify. You can cancel these zeros. And 12 into 15 gives you 1,800. So he has to pay 1,800 as annual rates. Then they are saying Kamal rents his house out for a year for a monthly rent of 9,000 and receives the total rent as a single payment. So monthly it's 9,000. So you have at the end of the year he gets the total amount. So that's 9,000 into 12. So then here you're going to get 180,000. Sorry, 108,000 totally. So this is the amount that he gets at the end of the year. Find the amount that remains after Kamal pays the annual rates, and spends 8,200 on maintenance. So he receives this amount at the end of the year, and he also has to pay the annual rates as well as maintenance 8,200. So let's find the expense. So that's 8,200 plus 1,800, which is going to be 10,000. So he spends 10,000 as expense. So they're asking the remaining. So 108,000 minus 10,000, which gives us 98,000. So he spends 98,000. Sorry, he has 98,000 remaining after paying both the expenses, which is the rates and the maintenance. Then the last question that we have here is Kamal invests the remaining amount to buy shares of a company of which the price of a share is 40. So 98,000 he has, and he's buying shares, and each share is 40 rupees. To find how many shares that he got, you have to divide the amount that was put in by the amount of a share. The amount that was put in is 98,000. The amount of a share is 40 rupees. So we can cancel this. 9,800 divided by 4 is equals to 2,450. So these, he got 2,450 shares. Then if he received dividends of 7,350 at the end of the year, how much does the company pay as annual dividends for a share? So at the end, he gets 2,450, 7,350. At the end of the year, he gets as dividends, he gets 7,350. They're asking how much annual dividends for a share do they pay. So this is the amount he received, that is 7,350. To get the dividend amount, we have to divide it by the number of shares that he had, which was 2,450. So here you can simplify the zeros and you will get 3 as your answer. So rupees 3. So the dividend amount that he gets is rupees 3. Was this question understood? So this is usually how the interest question goes. You get dividends and shares mixed with annual interest, usually. Then understood? Okay, we'll just do one more. Then the next one. Okay, so Aruna invests 60,000 rupees to buy shares in the above company. So there, in that company, the price of a share is 50. So he invests 60,000. So how many shares? To find how many shares he gets, you divide the invested amount by the price of a share. So then here you can simplify. So 6,000 divided by 5 gives us 1,200 shares. So we got 1,200 shares. Okay. After receiving dividends from the company at the end of the year, Aruna sells the shares at 55 rupees. How much does he obtain total as dividends and from selling? So he has 1,200 shares and he gets dividends 2.5. So 2.5 shares. So we'll find the dividends, which is 1,200 into 2.5. So instead of writing 2.5, I'll write it as a fraction. So that's going to be 5 over 2. So 5 over 2 is same as 2.5. So one is in decimal, one is in fraction. So when you have it as fractions, it's very easy for you to multiply or simplify. Therefore, I'll keep it as a fraction. And then here I will have 600. So 5 into 6 is 30. So then you will get 3,000. So he gets 3,000 as dividends, and then he also sells them at 55 rupees. So if he sells them, that's going to be 1,200 into 55. So then that is going to be 66,000. So he's going to get 66,000. So the total amount that he gets after the dividends and selling it is going to be 66,000 plus 3,000, giving me 69,000 rupees. That is the second question. Then he deposits the total amount he gets in a bank for 1 year. He receives 3,450 as interest. What is the annual interest the bank pays? So 69,000 he deposits in the bank and he receives an interest. So that means the interest amount we don't know. So I'll write that as X over 100 into the amount that we put in was 69,000 is equals to the interest amount that we got, 3,450. So here to get X as the subject, it has to be X. You take the denominator and put it as a multiplication when you take it to the other side. So 3,450 into 100 divided by 69,000. And then here you can simplify. All these three zeros will get cancelled. And then you'll have 354 divided by 69. Hmm. You can't get 3,450. 345, which is equals to 5%. So 5% is the interest amount that was taken. Okay, yeah. So that is that interest question. So usually you, yeah, usually you get, um, usually you get dividends shares with annual interest. That's the usual pattern that you see. Mm, mm, okay. So we have about 1.5 hours remaining. Is there any part that you all want me to do specifically, revise through? Probability. Okay, yeah. That's also a question. Okay, we'll do probability. Mm-hmm. Okay. Do you all want a 5-minute break just so that it's not too much? Since it's 1.5 hours finished, we have 1.5 hours to go. Okay, let's take a break. Okay, come back at 9:10. So that's exactly 5 minutes, not 9:10. Um, 10:35. Yeah. Come back at 10:40. 10:35, 10:40. Okay. And come back at 10:40. I'll be starting. Don't leave the meeting. Just go and come. Yeah. So, mm, so let's try two questions of probability here. Mhm. So let's go with the first one. So that's in page 9. Okay. Hope everyone's here. Okay. So the first part that we have is, so in a children's party, a game of drawing a ball randomly from a bag of balls and without replacing it, drawing another ball randomly was played in the bag with two red balls and a blue ball and a yellow ball and a green ball. Okay. So they're asking to mark the sample space given. So first thing that you have to notice here, they said without replacing it. So the moment that you see it says without replacing, there's a specific, so without replacing it means you get one less chance. So here you have, so they have already drawn this for you. So blue, yellow, green, red, red, two, blue, yellow, green. So the first question is mark the sample space given. So here you have to mark the sample space. So you're going to leave this row as a gap and mark everything else. The moment that they say that it's without replacing it, then you mark it 1, 2, 3, 4. You're going to leave that. Then you will have your space. Okay, so this will be your answer for mark the sample space. And then they're asking to win the game, it is required to first draw either a blue ball or a yellow ball and then a red ball. So this is my first draw, this is my first draw, and this is my second draw. So first draw, they are saying either blue or a yellow, and after you pick a blue or yellow, it has to be red. So here when you look at it, first draw blue means it's going to be these. But then when you look at the second chance, they're saying that it has to be a red ball. So then it's going to be like this. So the part where both meet is going to be these two. So they're asking us, encircle the event here. So then the overlapping part over there. So you don't have to draw the overlapping. You just have to encircle the necessary part. So that's going to be this. And they're asking us to write it as a probability, as a fraction. So then we have to add the total space. The total space is 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So the total space is 20 and the encircled space has 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 over 20. So here you can see you can simplify. So you have to simplify. Even though they don't ask, it's always best if you can simplify a fraction to keep it in its simplest form. So then 4 over 20, you can simplify it to get it. You get it as 1 over 5. Okay. 1 over. Uh, it it will finish at 12. This will finish at 12. Hopefully, inshallah. Or if we finish early also. Okay. So then that is the first part of the question, the probability. So this is the sample space. Then you also have the tree diagram. They give both. So in the next part, they're telling us a factory uses two machines named A and B to produce a certain type of toy. Two-fifths of the total number of toys is produced by A and the rest B. Okay. So they're asking us to complete the incomplete tree diagram. So first probability it says here it's to this they have given us 2 over 5 machine A machine B. Okay. And then they're telling us 2/5 is produced by A, so the remaining is produced by B. So remaining is going to be the whole minus 2/5. So if you want, I can just simply do it over here. 5 over 5 minus 2 over 5. 5 minus 2, 3 over 5. So 3 over 5 fifth is the remaining. They are going to have that over here. And then they are saying to complete it. So here they are saying the probability of a toy produced by machine A being defective is 1 over 16. So 1 over 16 is when it has a defect. And produced by B defective is 1 over 36. 1 over 36 is it being defect if it's B. But then you also have the probability of it not being defective. So that's going to be the remaining. So not defective. Here also you have not defect. So these are things that you have to fill by yourself. They have given you the information. You have to complete it. So 1 over 16th is defective. So if it's not defective, it's going to be the remaining, which is 15 over 16. So again, if we have to do it, 16 over 16 minus 15 over 16 is 15 over 16 minus 1 over 16. So again here, 36 over 36 minus 1 over 36 gives me 35 over 36. That is how you find the remaining that is needed. Okay. Yeah. So here you'll have 35 over 36. So this is your completed tree diagram. Then they're asking us, find the probability of a toy produced by this factory without defect. So they're asking without defect any toy produced by either machine A or machine B. They haven't said a specific machine. They have only asked for without defective. So then how that's going to go is you can go to machine A and then go through the part where it's not defect. Same thing with machine B, go up machine B and then again here and not defective. So then the fraction you have to multiply it by each other. So here it's going to be from machine A, it's going to be 2 to 5th into the fraction of not defective. So that's 15 over 60. And here also 3/5 into the fraction of the not defective into 35 over 36. So then now you can simplify these. So let's simplify. So here 2 divided by 2 is 1, 16 divided by 2, 8, 5 divided by 5 is 1, 15 divided by 5 is 3. And then you'll get your answer as 3 over 8 here. And here down also you can simplify 3 divided by 3, 1, 36 divided by 3, 12. 35 divided by 5, 7, 5 divided by 5, 1. And then you'll have here remaining 7 over 12. So now this is not defect for each, but here they're asking, so we have to find the total. So one is from machine A, one is from machine B. So totally how we have to do is we have to add the fractions. So 3 over 8 plus 7 over 12. That gives us, so here you can see the denominators are not the same. So I have to multiply to get a number. So here the closest common factor is going to be 24. So then here multiply by 3, up and down by 3. Here multiply up and down by 2. So then you're going to get 9 over 24 plus 14 over 24, giving us 23 over 24. So this, you can't simplify further. So this is your final answer. So let's try one more question so that it's more clearer. Okay, let's try the last question. So which is in page number 11. So if there's anything, just ask me. Okay. So here also they have given us a sample space. So always this side refers to the first one and this one as the second. So here they're saying the two grade 11 students, A1 and A2, and three grade 12 students, B1, B2, B3, belong to a school tennis pool. For a double tennis competition to be held on a future date, two students are to be picked randomly one after the other from the above mentioned students. Okay, mark the sample space here. So here they haven't said very directly that they are not replacing. So obviously you're not going to put the person you're going to pick again in the pool. No? So here they're saying one after the other. So the moment you pick one, you're going to pick the next. So you're not going to replace the person. So then here also the sample space is going to be, you're going to leave that gap. Then it's going to look like this. So if they say, if it is not replaced, you're going to keep one row in the middle empty. So here they have mentioned it very indirectly. They haven't told it with the word not replaced. They have told one after the other. Okay, so that's the first question is mark the sample space, which we have done. And the next thing they have said is encircle the event of picking two students from the same grade and find its probability. So picking students from the same grade. So so it's going to be this, like this, and this. That is one. The other one is going to be as B1, B2, B3, and B2. So where it overlaps is where you have the encircle part. So that is where you have to encircle. So here you have to encircle it one big this thing. So it's going to look like this. So that is your encircle diagram. And then they're asking to find the probability. So here you can see, you can count how many is the total. Here the total is going to be 20. How many is encircled? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 over 20 is the total. And here you can see, you can simplify both up and down by 4. 8 divided by 4 is 2. 20 divided by 4 is 5, which is your final answer. So usually this is how they give the sample space. You have to mark the sample space. Then they'll give you a specific thing that they want you to encircle and then find that probability. Now let's go to the tree diagram. So I'll just first draw it. Here it says 3 over 5. They will tell you in the question itself, when you're reading, they will tell you with replacement or without replacement. In this question, they have told it to you very indirectly. Yeah. So in this question, they have told us. So in the previous question, it was told directly. With without replacing, we are moving. The question was told. But then in this question, how they have given us is they have told us um, picked randomly one after the other. So here they haven't used the word. They haven't used the word replacement. Mhm. Mhm. But sometimes you have to use a little common sense because here also in this question, one after the other. So here they're picking a team of players. So after picking one person, you don't put her back and pick her again. No. So that means you don't replace it. You take it and without replacement only you continue. So some of the questions you'll have to think a little. They won't give it to you exactly, but usually they say. But if they don't say, you have to use a little common sense. Then you'll find it. So here also they haven't said specifically without replacement. They have said one after the other. And here they are making a team. So when you make a team, you don't put the person back and pick her again. You have to take another person. So then you have to not replace it. So for that, you have to use a little bit of common sense is involved there. But usually they tell, but if they don't, your common sense is needed. Okay? You have to think a little there. Okay. You're welcome. Okay. So the next part, oh yeah, so I was drawing this. So two grades, here same grade. So win, lose, win, lose. Okay, so now this is our tree diagram. Now let's read the question that they have given us. They're saying when the two students were picked from the same grade, the probability of winning is 0.7. When they are picked from the same grade, the probability of winning is 0.7. So here it's going to be 0.7. This answer, you can write it as a fraction. So this is a decimal answer. If you want, you can write it as a fraction when solving. Let's just leave it as it is now. But when solving, let's convert into a fraction because we need the answer in a fraction anyway. Okay. So then they are saying the probability of two different gates winning is 0.5. 0.5. So now we have to complete the diagram by filling in the remaining parts. So here 3/5 is the probability of getting in two different grades, whereas the probability of getting the same grade is going to be, if I were to do it, it's 5 minus 5 minus 3 over 5, giving us 2 over 5. So then here it's going to be 2 over 5. And how you're going to find this part, these two, is the same. So you can write, so here also a whole is going to be 1. Always the whole is 1. So even as a fraction, the whole is 1. Decimal also, the whole is 1. So then here it's going to be 1 minus 0.7, giving us 0.3. Same thing here, 1 minus 0.5 giving us 0.5. That's how you find the remaining part. So then I'll erase that. So then here it's going to be 0.3. Here it's going to be 0.5. Okay, so that's our completed tree diagram. Then they're telling us to find the probability of the two students who are picked winning the competition. So anyone who wins the competition, we're going to find the probability of that. So that's going to be same team winning. Go like this, same team winning. Two different grades winning against. So how we're going to find the probability is 2 over 5 into 0.7. 3 over 5 into 0.5. Now here the problem is you have decimals as well as fractions, but probability you always keep it as a fraction. So we can convert the decimal into a fraction here. So how that's going to look at, if you have a 0.7 or 0.9, anything, 0.9, how you get it as a fraction is 9 divided by 10. Or if you had a number which said 0.09, then it's 1, 2. So 9 divided by 100. Or if you had any other number, so let's say 3.5. If you want to put it as a fraction, you can write it as 35 over 10. That's how you convert it into a fraction if you have a 0.1 place. So then here also I'm going to convert this into a fraction. And then I will write, because that makes it so much more easier. So 2 over 5 into 7 over 10. Here it's going to be 3 over 5 into 5 over 10. Now I'm going to simplify. Here 2 divided by 2, 1. 10 divided by 2, 5. Then you'll get 7 over 35. 7 over 35. Then the next one is, here you can simplify 5 and you will get 3 over 10. Oh my God, here the answer is 25. Okay. So then you have 7 over 25 and 3 over 10. So that we have to add these two now. 7 over 25 plus 3 over 10. So now we can get the common denominator as 50. 25 into 2 and 10 into 5. Then you will get 50. So 2 into 7 is 14 over 50 plus 5 into 3, 15 over 50. And then you will get 29 over 50 as your final answer. Did everyone get that? Is that understood? Okay, so is there any other topic that you all want me to do from anywhere in the paper? Anything that you all want to revise or ask me doubt? Simultaneous. Okay. Simultaneous is do, if you know how to do it, it's very easy. We can try simultaneous. Okay. And that's a question that you can very easily earn marks because it's small and they only give you an additional small part which can be inequality or to subject something. Okay, we'll try simultaneous then. That's somewhere that you can, if you know how to do it, be very good because you can easily earn marks and it doesn't take that much of time as other questions. Okay, so we'll try that now. Mm, simultaneous. Okay, so let's do the first one there. So in page number 14, the simultaneous question there. Okay, so let's read the question nicely. It says there are 5 boys and 4 girls in a group of dancers. Then they're saying in a certain performance, all the boys wore costumes of the same price and all the girls wore costumes of the same price. Okay. The price of 2 boys' costumes was 1,000 rupees more than the price of 3 girls' costumes. The cost of all the costumes were 14,000. So boy is X and girl is Y. Okay. So first thing that we have to do is we have to find the 2 simultaneous equations that we're going to use. Okay. So here the first thing, the price of 2 boys' costumes was 1,000 rupees more. So 2 boys means boys represented as X. So 2 boys means 2X. And they're saying this is equals to 1,000 rupees more means you add 1,000 rupees more than 3 girls' costumes. So 2 boys' costumes is equals to 1,000 rupees more than 3 girls' costumes. So that's our first equation. And then our second one is all the boys and all the girls. Okay. So they have given us the total costs. And we have 5 boys, so 5x, and 4 boys, so 4y. So 5 into the cost of boy's costume and 4 into the cost of a girl's costume gives us the total costume amount, which is 14,000, and they have given us that. So this is your 2 simultaneous equations. But remember, in a simultaneous equations, you have to always subject your numbers into one side. So this equation, I will have to change it and bring all the unknown terms to one side and keep the number on one side. So for that, I can take this 3y and bring it to the other side. So then it's going to be 2x minus 3y is equals to 1,000, giving me my first equation and this my second equation. Did you understand how we got the equations? So you have to read this very carefully. Did you understand how we got the equation? Yeah? Okay. So now we have to solve it. So for solving, we have to find the value of x and the value of y. So here, we have to take either x or y as the same number. I'll rewrite this over here. 2x 2x minus 3y is equals to 1000. And the other one is 5x plus 4y is equals to 14,000. So the first thing, you have to either make x or y the same number. So here we'll look at x. So that means I have to make x as the same number. So I can get it as 10, a common number that's very easy for me to multiply. So I can take x as the common thing and get both the numbers there as equal. So if I were to make the common number as 10, that means I have to multiply this entire equation by 5, sorry, this entire equation by 5 and this entire equation by 2. Then I will get my x terms with the coefficient both as 10. So if I were to completely solve this, 2x into 5 is 10x minus 3 into 5 is 15, giving us 15y. 1000 into 5 is 5000. Then 5x into 2 is 10x plus 4y. 4 into 2 is 8y is equals to 14,000 into 2 is 28,000. So this was my first question. Sorry, first equation. This was my second. Now I'll renumber it as this is my third and this is my fourth. So now what I'm going to do is the next thing that you have to look at is which number is bigger. On the number side, which one is bigger? Yeah, 1 second. So if anyone wants the PDF, I'll be sharing it on the chat. Okay, so it's shared on the chat. Okay, yeah. So then the next thing that you have to check is which side has the bigger number. So here you can see 28 and 5. Obviously, 28 is larger. So then you're going to subtract the bigger one from the smaller one. So here you can see both are positive. So then only when I subtract, it will get cancelled. And then you always look at the bigger one minus the small one. So here 28,000. So you're going to write equation 4 minus equation 3. And now I'm going to write it 10x plus 8y minus the second equation. So minus 10x minus 15y is equals to 28,000 minus this part 5,000. So now let's open the bracket. So 10x plus 8y minus 10x. So here it's a plus sign. So minus into plus is minus. Here minus into minus 15y. Here these two are getting multiplied. When you multiply same signs together, it becomes a positive. So minus into minus 15y becomes plus 15y is equals to 28,000 minus 5,000, 23,000. Then you can see that 10x minus 10x gets cancelled. And 15y plus 8y gives me 23y is equals to 23,000. Then y is equals to 23,000 divided by 23, which is equals to 1,000. Now you have found the value of y. Now, because you have already found the value of y, now you can very easily find the value of x using any one of the equations that you have. So here you totally have 4 equations over here. Using any of the co-equations you can find, but always try to pick the equation with the smallest values. Then it's highly unlikely for you to make even silly mistakes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick equation 1. So 2x minus 3y is equals to 1,000. So you're going to write in equation 1, substituting y is equals to 1,000. So we had 2x minus 3y is equals to 1,000. Now we're going to substitute and find the value. So when you substitute, 2x is equal to 2x minus 3 into 1,000 is equals to 1,000. So 2x is equals, oh my god, 2x minus 3,000 is equals to 1,000. So I'm going to take minus 3,000 to the other side. 2x is equals to 1,000. When you take minus to the other side, it becomes plus. Plus 3,000. Then 2x is equals to 4,000. Then x is equals to 4,000 divided by 2. X is equals to 2,000. Did you understand how this works? So the moment you find the simultaneous equation, everything else is going to be okay. So first thing that you have to do is very carefully find the simultaneous equation. Then make either x or y as a common term. And then you solve one and then substitute in the other. So these parts are important. Mentioning in equation 1 you're substituting, or the previously I did when you name the equations, I did 4 minus 1. Those things are very important when you're writing. So the moment you name the equations, it's going to be very much easier. So let's just try one more. Then you can just get thorough with it. I'll also finish the next part there. So there's like a tiny additional part they give. Either it's going to be inequalities or subject something. So here they have given us simplify this equation here. So 5x over x squared minus 1 minus 4 over x plus 1. So this is another tiny part that they give. So here when you expand this x squared minus 1, so any fraction, if you see it like x squared minus 16 or x squared minus 1, x squared minus 25. Separately, the x squared is for itself. Then how you're going to simplify this is, it's going to be x minus the square root of 25, which is 5, and then x plus 5. So you're going to have one as negative, and one as positive. With the number here is going to be the root of this number. So then here also it's going to be x minus root of 16 is 4. So x minus 4, x plus 4. Here also same thing, x minus root 1 is 1. So x minus 1, x plus 4. This is how it works. This is if the squared is only for the x and you have a square root number over here, a whole square root number. So that's how they have given here as well. X squared minus 1 separately. So then it's going to be 5x over x minus 1, x plus minus 4, x plus 1. So here it's a fraction. Same thing that you do for any fraction, you get the denominator as the same. So here what's common for me is x minus 1, x plus 1. So only thing missing here is x minus 1. So I'll multiply up and down by x minus 1. Then I will get 5x minus 4x minus 1 over x minus 1, x plus. So the moment you have a common denominator, you can put all the numerators term in one fraction. So then I will expand this. So I will get 5x minus 4 into x is 4x minus 4 into minus 1, here minus and minus, so it becomes plus 1. Minus 1 plus 1. Then here again when you simplify, you are going to get 5x minus 4x is x plus 1 over x minus 1, x plus 1. So here you can see you can very easily simplify x minus, this is 4. Okay, x minus 4 into minus 1, sorry, it's plus 4. So when you simplify, you're going to get x plus 4 over x minus 1, x plus 1. So again, you can rewrite this as how you got it in the beginning. So x plus 4, x squared minus 1. That's the final answer over here. So here the main thing that you have to remember is this term over here. When you get x squared separately in itself, you write it as x minus 1, x plus. If it is x squared minus 1 whole thing, it's x minus 1 2 times. Okay, so that's the main thing that you have to get from here. Now let's try another simultaneous. Mhm. Okay. Okay, let's do the next question over there. So that's question number 5 in page number 15. Okay. So here we have a hall is decorated with white lotus flowers and red lotus flowers. 3 times the number of white lotus flowers used for this is 100 more than the number of red flowers used. Okay. And then they're saying each white rose flower is 12 rupees and each red lotus flower is 11 rupees. The cost of the lotus flowers used for the decoration is 1600. So number of lotus flowers is X and red flowers is Y. So first let's do the easy one. So they have said each white lotus flower is 12 rupees. So 12 into the number of white lotus flowers is X. So 12x plus 11y is equals to the total cost 1600. So the one tricky part is going to be the previous one. They're saying 3 times the number of white lotus flowers. So 3 times the number of white lotus flowers, which is 3x, is used. 3 times used for this is 100 more than the number of red flowers. Similar to previous one, you have 100 more than the red flowers. So the first simultaneous equation was the price. So they're talking about the price. They're saying 12 rupees is one white lotus flower and 11 rupees is one red lotus flower, and the total cost is 1600. So that is fine. The tricky one is the next one. So they're saying 3 times the number of white lotus flowers. So white lotus flowers is x, so 3x is used, and that is equals to 100 more than the number of red flowers. 100 more means you add, and how many red flowers? White. Did you understand? Did you understand how we got this equation over here? So one equation might be easy. The second one will be very tricky. You have to think and understand the um, question. Did everyone understand how we got this? Okay. So now I'm going to again always make sure your number terms are on one side and your unknown terms are on the other. So for that, I'm going to bring this to the other side. You will get, I'll write it here, 3x minus y is equals to 100. So this is my first equation and this is my second equation. And I'll erase this. Okay. So now I have to make sure my one unknown term coefficient is going to be the same. So here you can see I can make x terms as the same because already I have 12x over here. I can only multiply one side and get 12x as common. So if I were to multiply 3x and get multiply this entire equation by 4, I will be getting the coefficient of x as the same. So 3x into 4 is 12x minus y into 4 is 4y is equals to 400. So this I will mark it as my third equation. Then now here I can subtract the bigger one minus the smaller one. So here you can see using the numbers 1600 is greater than 400. So then I'm going to minus equation 1 minus equation 3. So 12x plus 11y minus 12x minus 4y is equals to 1600 minus this one, which is 400. So now I'm going to open the brackets. So 12x plus 11y minus 12x minus 4y into minus into minus becomes positive. 4y is equals to 1200. So here you can simplify 12x and 12x. 11 plus 4 is 15. Y is equals to 1200. So here 1200 is equals to 80. Oh, here will be y is equals to 1200 divided by 15, which is going to be 80. So now we have found the value of 1. So you can use any of the equations that you have to find the value of the other one. So again, it's always preferred if you get the smallest equation possible. So then you will make less mistakes. So I'm going to use equation 2. So 3x minus y is equals to 100. So substituting y is equals to 80 in equation 2. So then our equation was 3x minus y is equals to 100. So 3x minus 80 is equals to 100. 3x is equals to 100 plus 80. 3x is equals to 180. X is equals to 180 divided by 3. Therefore, x is equals to 60 rupees. There we found the value of x and the value of y. But here we have a part 2. They're telling us, so first was find it, then solve it. Then they're saying, show that the difference between the amount spent on the red lotus flowers and the amount spent on the white lotus flowers is more than 150 rupees. Okay. So that is our relative to our equation that we did before. So 12x. So we purchased 12 white flowers and 11 red flowers. So 12 into x we got it as 60. So and 11 into y we got it as 80. So 12 into 6 gives us 772. So we add the 0, 720. And 11 into 8, 88. So 80 and put the 0, 808. So this is the total spent. They're telling us to show that the difference between the two is more than 150. So difference means you have to subtract. So I'll subtract the bigger minus the smaller. So 880 minus 720 is equals to 160 rupees. They're asking us to show that 160 is greater. So then you can just show 160 is greater than rupees 150. So you just have to show this, that 160 is greater than 150. That is what they're asking us to show. Is that understood? Okay. Now let's go to the last part, which is which is making the subject. So this is another additional part that can come, making a certain part a subject in a formula. So here they have given us u is equals to root 2gh, and they're asking us to subject h, make h the subject. So when you see a root, the first thing that you have to do is square both sides to cancel the root. So if I were to square both sides, so this square and this square, then I cancel the root. The root gets cancelled and you have the values in itself. So that means I'll get u squared is equals to 2gh. The root gets cancelled. Now very easily you can subject h. So to subject h, you can just bring 2g to the other side. So h is equals to, when you bring multiplication terms to the other side, it becomes division. So it becomes u squared over 2g. So here the important part that you can get is, to cancel a root, you can just square both sides. Then the root gets cancelled. Okay, so we've done two simultaneous equations. We have about 20 minutes. Is there anything else that you'll want me to brush up? Trigonometry, the big question in paper 2. Okay, so we'll try one of that. Hmm. Okay, so let's try the first question there then. If we have time, we'll do more. Or shall we try the last one? Trigonometry. Okay, so let's try the last one over there. So that's in page number 18. Okay. Okay, so first they're saying, I'll draw the figure over here. K, E, C, A. Okay, so they're saying Chamara and Amal are standing on a level ground on opposite sides of a vertical KT as shown in the figure. Amal is 30 meters away from the tree, so I'll mark that 30 meters. So this distance is 30 meters away from the tree, and Chamara is flying a kite. The kite suddenly gets entangled at the top of the tree K such that the string is taut. The string is 40 meters long. So it's tight. So the string is 40 meters long. At that moment, Chamara sees the kite with an angle of elevation 44 degrees 50 minutes. So here they're saying disregard the height. So here it's going to be 44 degrees 50 minutes. Okay. So first thing they have asked is copy the given figure onto your answer sheet and include the above information. So this is all that you're going to include. The 40 meters, 30 meters and 44 degrees 50 minutes. The first question is done. Then they are saying using trigonometric ratios in the following computations, find the height of KT. So they're asking us to find the value of this. So using any trigonometric ratios. So here we can see that we're using hypotenuse. So then it has to be either sine or cos because sine is equals to opposite over adjacent. Cos is equals to, oh my god, hypotenuse here. And cos is equals to adjacent over hypotenuse. and tan is equals to opposite over adjacent. So always keep this in mind. Sine is equals to opposite over hypotenuse, cos adjacent over hypotenuse, tan is opposite over adjacent. So these three you have to remember. So then here you can see I have the angle and I need the opposite. I have the hypotenuse. So then the thing that I have to use is sine because everything that completes it is there. I have an angle. I need to find the opposite and I have the hypotenuse. So then we are going to use the equation of sine. So sine is equals to opposite over adjacent. So from the triangle KCT, so from triangle KCT, sine is going to be equals to opposite is KT over hypotenuse is KC. So now I'm going to substitute. So sine, the value is 45 degrees 50 minutes is equals to KT over KC is we have 40. So then KT is going to be equals to, so sine 45 degrees 50 minutes is going to be equals to 0.7050. So this you have to find in your logbook. You have to find that value through your logbook and then you have to multiply it by 40. So here I found this value which is 0.7050 and this 40 I took it up. So when you take a division to multiplicate to the other side, it becomes multiplication. Then you have KT is equals to 228.2 meters. 28.2 meters. So then here you will have 28.2. Did you understand how we got the first part? Is this clear? Mhm. Okay. So then, so that's the first part. And then the second question they're saying, I'll keep that sign over. So if you want, as you take the paper, you just move this down. Sine is equals to opposite of hypotenuse, cos adjacent over hypotenuse, tan opposite of adjacent. In case you forget and you're planning to do this question, then okay. Then they're saying, what is the angle of elevation with Amal sees? Okay. So they're asking the angle of this. Here you can see that we are not using hypotenuse. We are looking at opposite. We are looking at the opposite. And then you have the adjacent. This is the hypotenuse. We're not using that. We're using opposite and adjacent. So then we look at the equation that we need, which is tan. So then tan, I'll mark this as theta. Theta. So in triangle KTA, tan theta is going to be equals to opposite is KT, adjacent is AT. KT over AT. Then you have 28.2 over 30. Then tan theta is equals to 0.9400. So you have to divide 28.2 divide by 30. Then you get 0.940. 9400. Then you have to find this value in your logbook. So using the tan table, you're going to find this value 9440 and get the corresponding degrees and minutes. And then you will get theta is equals to tan inverse 0.9400. Therefore, theta is equals to 43 degrees 14 minutes. So when you look into your tan logbook and go to the tan side, when you go to find this, this is your corresponding degrees and minutes. And then the last question that they're telling us is using the angle, with reason, state which of the two Chamara Amal is standing closer to the tree. So this is that here 43 15 minutes. So this is a little bit of common sense. They're asking us with reason to show or to tell us who is standing closer to the tree.
Correct.
In real life, if you were to just stand under something close, you have to tilt your head very high. So if you're standing this is just an example. If you're standing here and you're looking at something that is here and it's tall, you'll be tilting your head like this. But if you're further away, you're going to tilt your head very little. So this angle is smaller than this angle over here. That's how it is naturally. So the angle that is bigger tells you that you're more closer to the object than the one which is less. So here you can see that 44 degrees 50 minutes is greater than 43 degrees 14 minutes. Therefore, this distance, CT distance, is smaller than AT distance. Don't get confused. If the angle is greater, that means the distance to that object is smaller. Therefore, Chamara is more closer to the tree. Did you understand that? So that's an important thing that you might have to know. So if the angle is greater, if the angle is greater, the distance is smaller. In this scenario, if you are looking at something from a distance, when the angle is greater, the distance to that object is smaller. Did you understand that? Okay. Uh, we have about 10 minutes. I don't think that's enough time to do anything new. Hmm. Is there anything small that you want to ask me? Anything small? Because we only have a few minutes. Yes, I do. I do teach classes, individual or group, anything is fine. So inshallah, I'll in the group I'll send time schedule, time exam paper timing, because so many children they have trouble with timing. So always I'll send the time plan, but then so it's best if you stick to it because I've given extra time for you to go through later as well. So for example, if I have given 20 minutes for you to do a big paper question, then you stick to that time. If you have not completed it, just leave it and go to the next question, because it's better than breaking your head doing that one question and not doing, you will not be able to do many more other questions where you can actually score. So if I tell 20 minutes for a big, that means a paper two question, you try to do as much as you can in 20 minutes. And the moment 20 minutes strikes, you leave that question, move on to the next. Then there's a period, like half an hour, I think, at the end, where you can complete your missed questions. So then you're making sure you're complete in the paper and just trying to check where you've gone wrong, or in case you miss something, you can always check. So inshallah, I'll send that in the group. But anything else that you want to ask me? Anything else regarding the math paper? No questions? No? Okay. Alhamdulillah, that's great. Then all the best, inshallah. Hopefully, everyone does well and amazing, and make your parents proud and yourselves proud. Study well, okay? And always in maths papers, stick to the timing. Practice questions. Doing all our past papers is more than enough. Don't go to do any other manang manang. Just stick to the all our past papers and practice questions, especially ones that you want to try. Practice them more so that you're more thorough with the pattern. Then, yeah, all the best.